Karen's shrill voice cut through the still night like a jagged blade. She had been circling my property for weeks, filing complaints with the HOA about everything from my roses being too red to the faint sound of wind chimes by my porch. But tonight, she took it further. Under the pale streetlight, her silhouette leaned against my gate, muttering about how no one deserved a house this nice in her neighborhood unless they followed her rules. The truth was, this wasn't about rules. It was about control. And Karen was drunk on the illusion of power. I watched through the curtains as she fumbled with something in her hand. Metal scraped against the lock, a clumsy attempt to break in. My security cameras caught every second, the desperation in her shaking hands, the wild fire in her eyes. For a moment I considered calling the police myself, but then, as if fate had staged this performance, Karen pulled out her phone and dialed 911. She was reporting me. Her voice rose in fake panic. "There's a dangerous man inside. He's not supposed to be here. He's trespassing on private property." The absurdity made me laugh under my breath. She was breaking into my home and claiming I was the intruder. The call was her last act of confidence before the curtain dropped on her little play. Blue and red lights washed over the driveway minutes later. A squad car pulled up, tires crunching on the gravel. Karen straightened, face full of self-righteous victory, pointing toward my front door like she had caught a fugitive. "That's him! That's the one!" she barked at the officer. The cop stepped forward, hand hovering over his holster. I opened the door slowly, calm as the eye of the storm. The cop's flashlight cut across my face, and then it froze. His posture snapped back, his mouth parted slightly, recognition dawning like thunder after lightning. "Judge Harrington," he stammered, lowering the beam. Karen blinked in confusion, her smugness faltering. No, he's lying. He's pretending to be someone important." But the officer's eyes never left mine. He knew me. Every cop in this county knew me. I was the one who had presided over hearings that shaped their careers, the one who had signed warrants, the one who had ruled in cases where justice needed a steady hand. My reputation wasn't just ink in court transcripts, it carried weight in every badge's heart. "Ma'am," the officer said slowly, his tone shifting, "do you realize whose property you're on?" Karen's face twisted. "I don't care who he thinks he is. He doesn't belong here. I'm the HOI president. I have authority." I stepped forward, my voice even but edged with steel. "Authority?" I repeated. "You broke into my home. You filed false reports. You've harassed me endlessly. And now you've dragged law enforcement into your delusion." The cop looked visibly uncomfortable, torn between protocol and the raw reality unfolding before him. But then Karen made the mistake of lunging toward me, jabbing her finger inches from my chest. That's when the officer's restraint broke. He stepped between us, hand out, commanding her to stop. "Ma'am, you're under arrest." The sound of handcuffs snapping shut was almost poetic. Karen's eyes bulged in disbelief, spitting curses as if her rage alone could dissolve iron. "You can't do this to me! I own this neighborhood! He's nobody without me!" The cop's jaw tightened. "He's a sitting judge, ma'am, and you just committed multiple crimes in front of him." Her shrieks echoed into the night, but I didn't move. I stood on the porch, a quiet monument to the collapse of her empire of arrogance. For weeks, she thought she had cornered me, that her title of HOA president gave her power beyond the rules. But in a single instant, her mask cracked and she stood exposed, not a queen, but a petty tyrant dethroned by her own hand. When the officer guided her to the back of the squad car, she locked eyes with me, venom in her glare. "This isn't over," she hissed. I leaned forward just enough for my words to strike like a gavel. "It's already over. The law doesn't bow to you, Karen. Tonight, it bowed to the truth." The door slammed shut, her fury muffled behind glass. The squad car rolled away, its lights fading into the distance. The quiet returned, heavier now but cleaner, like a storm had swept through and left the air crisp. I closed my door and sat by the window, watching the empty street. In the morning, her story would spread.
Neighbors would whisper about the HOA president arrested on the judge's lawn, about how arrogance met justice in the most public way possible. But tonight, I needed no audience. Tonight, the victory was mine alone. The victory of patience, of law, of refusing to bend under the weight of someone else's madness. Karen had tried to break into my world, to fracture it with lies and intimidation. Instead, she broke herself against it. And I knew, with the certainty only silence can bring, that the neighborhood would never look at her, or me, the same way again.